3, 2, 1.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy. That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
Fantasy Jesus. I'm here to save your fantasy roster. Fantasy Jesus. It worked for The Rock and it's gonna work for me.
Yeah. TSS Fantasy. Yeah. TSS Fantasy.
And you just got flandered.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
And you just got flandered.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
Yeah!
Thank you. We ain't got no Fred tonight. I don't know where he's at, apparently. So
You know where he's at.
Yeah, I know where he's at. What am I saying? Listen, guys, we got a great show packed for you tonight. We're taking off our fantasy caps. I mean, we've been talking about this since, I don't know, forever. The caps are off tonight. We're putting our NFL hardwire hats on tonight. We actually are going to talk NFL straight football. I'm super excited about that. We got some great guests waiting for us, too. So let's get the introduction started. Welcome to the studio, Justin Jesus Herrera.
Hey, yo, everybody. Let's go. It's TSS Fantasy time. It's time to tell you why the San Francisco 49ers will be your Super Bowl champions. That is right. Mike is in the building. He knows what that's all about, too. And as usual, guys, this might not be the fantasy show, but go on TSS.com right now. Thanks to the guys at Fantasy Pros, we can put our rankings up there in a very efficient manner where you can see it and everything. And, you know, I'm super stoked for this episode. We got a lot of great guests in. This is the Legends show. And, you know, what are legends without TSS Fantasy, right? Like, we're a growing legend as it is right now. So go to TSS.com. I'll let Nick take it away from here.
Nick, welcome to the studio. I don't even know what to say after all that. Welcome to the studio, Nick. You got Flander Macaronis. Try following that up.
Not even gonna try. Not even gonna try it. Just like to say, hey, you know, I'm not even gonna do a long intro. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know what to do. Go to TSS Fantasy, check out our rankings, check out our merchandise, go to YouTube, click subscribe, and learn something and have a good time. That's it. That's all I got. I'm done.
Wow, I can't even now. I'm really
I can't wait to get to the guests. I really cannot wait to get to the guests.
You got me going back here. I'm on my feet. I don't even know what to say. No, listen, guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Takes 2 seconds. Get entered to win a signed Chris Johnson football CJ2K. It's right there waiting for you. Just hit subscribe. No big deal, right? Also, we got all the great things on TSS Fantasy. Justin mentioned thanks to Fantasy Pros. Now we got some great rankings for you to follow up on, so make sure you check that out. We're going to have our Week 1 rankings in. Actually, Nick has his in already. Very impressed. We're going to have ours all in, ready to go tomorrow, and Wednesday we'll be on a show talking about them, so make sure you check those out. Also, get to Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code TSS. We're going to double that deposit up to $100. Lots of great contests going on this year as well. We're going to have Dolphin tickets on the line, Dolphin experiences. We got Gatorland tickets. We got all kind of cool things. Come check it out. Why are we doing all this crazy stuff, Nick?
Because we can.
Well, Nick, I mean, it's because we can, but it's also because we're the fantasy show of the people.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I think you guys finally got the intro down. It must be regular season time.
It's regular season time, baby. Let's go.
It's super exciting. All right, so let's in it. We're going to get our guest in. We have special team coach legend Mike Westhoff, just off his pristine book tour. Figure It Out. Make sure you guys go check out Figure It Out. Get that order. Get it. It's such a great book. A lot of great stuff for any football fans. So make sure you check that out. Also, she's got him up in their background, but two-time Emmy award-winning TV producer Deb Witkus. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. She's going to be joining us here as well. And our friend, legend Lori Fitzpatrick. our friend from the Jag Show, Legend USA Today writer. She actually just got done with an article, so we want to check that out. I'm already plugging them. They're not even in yet. Let me bring them in. Here we go. All right, we look at all of the beautiful people, as they say. Welcome all to the studio. We'll start with ladies first. We'll start with the left. Deb, welcome in.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited for this season to start. I cannot wait.
We are excited as well. You came all the way in off the beach to join us. So I know you're excited. Lori, welcome into you as well. I know you just got done with a big article on some cornerbacks, so we were glad you put the pen down to come join us.
I know, man. I was cutting it close, so I'm glad I made it in. I'm glad I was able to finish it.
Absolutely. Glad to have you here. Coach Westhoff, I know you've been on a long book tour. I mean, every time I see you, you're somewhere else. You're signing stuff. Everyone's trying to get a piece of the coach. Welcome into our studio, sir.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I have been a little bit of a book tour. When you're kind of a small publisher like we are, you have to promote. So that's what I've done.
Indeed. Trust me, I know all about being small time. Believe me. All right, let's get
Not for long.
let's get things started tonight. Again, this is our prediction show. We have a lot of fun doing these. We're all fantasy all the time, so it's nice to just talk football for once. So let's just start. We're going to go just through the divisions. We'll start, of course, with my favorite division. And, of course, where America's team, the Miami Dolphins, reside. Let's start with the AFC East. And, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just going to give my quick analysis. The bottom line is for this division, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And right now, it's the Buffalo Bills are the man. I mean, that is plain period. I wish I could say something different and say, hey, the Dolphins are going to overtake them. But I'm a season ticket holder. And if you've looked at what the Buffalo Bills have done to the Miami Dolphins recently in Miami, it gives me zero confidence to say the Dolphins will overtake Buffalo this season. So the way I look at it right now, it's really just a two-horse race with Miami and Buffalo. Buffalo, I do believe, will win the division. Miami will come in second. And I'll be honest with you guys, from what I've seen and what I'm looking at, I think the Jets are the third-place team, and I think the Patriots are going to be dead last this season. I think it's finally the Roos have come home to Bill Belichick. But here's my AFC East. I worked hard on all these graphics, so here's my little graphic for the AFC East. So I got the Bills at 14-3, and we'll get back to that in a minute. I think they're going to be the number one overall seed. I got Miami at 12-5. We'll get to that. I think they're a high seed in the wild card. Jets 7-10, and like I said, Patriots, I think they're finally gonna come to roost. Gonna go 6-11 in the AFCs. Deb, we'll start with you with our guest. Let's hear your overall analyst and your prediction for the AFC.
I mean,
Analytics.
Thank you.
I agree with you. The Bills are going to take it. I mean, come on, Josh Allen can't be beat. One of the best quarterbacks in the league at this point. I feel like the Bills are going to go 13-4. Then I have the Dolphins at 9-8. I have the Patriots going 7-10, and then the Jets at 5-12. Now I'm hoping the Jets do a little bit better than that. I think Sauce is going to bring some sauce this year, but we'll see. I still have Patriots above Jets, so we'll see how that actually plays out.
I like it. Like you said, you can go pretty much either way, I think, with those teams. I mean, you can't count out Bill Belichick. It's just what I've been looking at. Mac Jones doesn't look very good, quite frankly. I'm just not seeing it a lot. All right, Lori, how about you? What's your prediction for the AFC East?
Well, I'm just going to jump right on board with you guys. I mean, definitely the Bills. They are definitely going to take this. I don't see, Josh Allen falling off or anything. He's definitely the best quarterback in the division. But then I'm going to go Dolphins. I'm here in Miami, so I kind of have to jump on the bandwagon a little bit, Then I do have the Patriots and then the Jets. I don't think we can ever count Bill Belichick out. Like, look what he did last year with a rookie quarterback. Come on, guys. Like, we just have to be honest there. Then Zach Wilson, when is he coming back? Week 4, week 5? When I don't want to make a joke or anything about, him and what he's doing with women and everything like that, the MILFs, but yeah, I don't know. When his mind gets focused and he's in the right place, then maybe in the next year, maybe the Jets can kind of go somewhere, but I still think they're going to be at the bottom of the AFC East.
I mean, listen, I don't want to comment either, but that's to say his mind's not focused. He's hanging out with his mom's friend. I mean, All right,
No,
Coach,
I know.
I know.
Coach Westhoff, what say you, my friend? Give me your prediction of the AFC.
I'm very close to the two young ladies that were right there. They're pretty sharp. I think they did a good job. Buffalo's the best looking team I saw in the preseason this year in the entire league. They impressed me the most. Everything they did. I liked the way they handled the games. They came out and said they were going to. I was watching one of their preseason games, and they said they don't care what the other team does. They have their philosophy, and they're going to play their guys for a quarter. They don't care. I like that. I like that attitude. It impressed me. So I thought their team looked balanced. And obviously, we know they've got the big stars. I'm a little bit with Deb on the Dolphins. I kind of like 9-8 myself. I was at an early practice, and I was very unimpressed with their offense, to be honest. I thought their running game would look better than it did. I'm a little disappointed in that. I know their coach has a good background with the running game from the 49ers, who maybe have as good a running game as there is in the NFL. I did not see that, to be honest with you. I didn't see it. To be honest with you, I wasn't impressed with how they practiced, to tell you the truth, the day I was there. So I was a little disappointed. The Patriots, you have to give Bill Belichick the due. He's such a great coach. I don't fully understand the offensive play calling between the two coaches. I think that to me is okay. Is it going to work? I'm not sure. They don't have any experience doing it, although I think they're both pretty good veteran coaches, and Bill will be in the middle of it, kind of refereeing it. But when you're dealing with that type of quarterback, a somewhat average offensive line, and now you've got this coaching, it could be a little bit disaster for them. The Jets, I was there early in camp, and to tell you the truth, I was impressed. I liked what I saw. I liked the way they practiced. I thought their head coach is really on top of it. I like his attitude. I saw a lot of things I like. The quarterback is a gigantic question mark. It's gigantic. I watched him make some throws that I was really impressed with. And then I watched him make some other throws that I felt like I could have made. And so I was disappointed in that. That's where I think, and I don't have a great feel for their defense. I just don't. I don't know enough about it. So I kind of going to put the Jets a little bit toward the bottom. But to be honest with you, I think after Buffalo, the other three are just in the shuffle, and none of them just knocked me out. Buffalo, they're the real deal.
Justin, did you invite Coach on the show? Like, he's all back in the Niners. He's talking about the Dolphins are 9-8. What's going on tonight, Coach? You're supposed to be backing me up tonight.
Can you get it on record that Commissioner Cooper was shaking his chest when when Coach was saying that the Jets were going to be better than the Dolphins? We're looking better than the Dolphins.
No, I didn't. That's not what I said. I didn't say that. I did not put it that way. I just told you that I thought that I thought Deb was a little bit close with her analysis of the Miami Dolphins. I thought she was actually a little bit point on. But to be honest with you, I'm not sure. I know one thing about the Dolphins. If there's a race in the National Football League, the Dolphins will win the race. They are fast. That is a fast team with a good defense. Quarterback, we'll find out. We'll see.
So, Justin, I was shaking my head at him saying that he liked the coach and that he liked what he saw. And I agree with him. I do like the coach, and I do like what I see from the Jets. That's why I got them above the Patriots. All right, Justin, let's hear your thoughts. We don't want to hear your busting the commission all night. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's a rental. It's an easy race. I mean, at this point, the Bills are way too far ahead. They've got way too much going for them. As far as everything else, yeah, that's it. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna just go off of that. Okay, yeah, so I got the Dolphins at 9-8. I think that they're a little bit better, but to be honest with you, they still got to seal up that quarterback position. We still got to see what we got from Tua. The Patriots, I'm never out on the Patriots. It's a smart team. The organization picked Mac Jones. I think it's more of a testament to Mac's intelligence that they don't have a true offensive coordinator there. Then, Bill Belichick losing it or anything like that, putting two defensive coordinators, two defensive guys there to coach an offense. Then the Jets have been my high point for a long time. I think that, they've got something going there. Saleh, I liked Saleh as a defensive guy. He was very much an energy guy. I wouldn't be surprised if their defense, is a little bit better than what we think it could be because of the fact that he just brings all that energy. I mean, he literally chest bumps his players. Like, this is a man who goes out there with no pads on and chest bumps guys that are freaking 300 pounds. Like, he's I miss him in San Francisco is all I'm going to say. But yeah, overall, I think the Bills are going to take it, and I think it's just going to be a rat race for number 2.
Nick, what say you, sir?
Okay, well, I'm with everybody else. I have the Bills, excuse me, winning the division at 13-4, 10-7. If this was next year and Lamar Jackson is behind center for the Dolphins, I'd put the Dolphins ahead of the Bills because that could happen. He liked the tweet that a fan put up there of him in the Dolphins jersey. Patriots, they're a mess. I don't know. Again, nobody can speculate properly why they chose the not choosing an offensive coordinator. I saw it go miserable the one year in Philly when Andy Reid let Castillo, the former defensive coordinator, call the offensive plays. It was a dumpster fire. It was not good at all. I don't know how this is going to work. And the Jets are the Jets. I don't think Zach Wilson is any good. I don't care who you have in there. As far as Flacco or Wilson, it doesn't matter. I think that organization married themselves to Zach Wilson, and they're going to say, look, we're going to run this trade into the ground. I don't know whose cat is in the background, but that's meowing like crazy.
It's mine, guys. I'm so sorry. I could get rid of them.
It's okay. And the other thing,
they're excited for football too.
Jason and I, we were talking the other day when we were doing a draft, and we said, if Mostert stays healthy for the whole season, I mean, that guy, just give him a baton because that guy can run down the field like nobody's business. If he can stay healthy, the Dolphins running game is going to stay on point.
Yeah, that's the big question. But, again, the Dolphins do have a plethora of running backs to kind of go through. But we did talk about Raheem Mostert. It's a playmaker. It's kind of reminds me of Kenyon Drake when he was at his prime making those big plays like Raheem Mostert in this offense. All right, so we're all kind of pretty much in an agreement, a little bit at the end, but for the most part, the big winners we're all kind of agreeing on. Let's go to the AFC North. And I'm going to be honest with you. I got a little bit, it might be a surprise to some of you guys, but I don't like the Ravens this year. I got them 7-10 this year. I think that's probably the biggest surprise out of my predictions this year. Obviously, I like the Bengals making it all the way last year, still going to repeat. I believe, in the AFC, at least win the division. I don't know what to make of the Steelers yet. Right now they're talking about Mitch Trubisky was named a captain, and he's named as a starter on depth chart. So I don't know if that's what they're going with or not, but if that's it, we'll see. We're going to kind of see how this offense plays out. The Browns, obviously, with the Watson situation, their offense is a big influx. I believe Jacoby Brissett, though, can win them a few games. Obviously, they're going to really win off Chubb and Hunt. He just can't really lose it for him. And the reason I don't like the Ravens this year is because, quite frankly, Lamar Jackson, this isn't basketball. He might be LeBron James type of athlete, but this is not basketball where you can just individually take over games. Now, he has done that in the past, not to kill him on that. But this, again, the AFC has definitely stepped up a lot this year. I just don't see Lamar willing them through. They're predicated on running the football, and they don't even have a running back really to do it. So I just don't really see the Ravens this year, quite frankly. Let's go to our guests. Let's go to Coach Westhoff first. Give us your analysis, AFC North. Who you like it there?
I agree completely with you with Cincinnati. I think they're really a good football team. I like a lot of things about their ball club. They're right there. I'm going to flip-flop with you. I think Pittsburgh is right about where you picked them. I feel pretty confident with that. That's about where they'll be. It'll be interesting to see how the quarterback situation goes because I thought the young man that the young kid from Pitt, I really liked what I saw him in the preseason. I was impressed with that. But yet, I understand going with Trubisky. I see that. I think Baltimore will be a little bit better than what you're thinking. I'm going to take them 2 games better than what you picked them. I just think I liked what they did in the draft. So I think they've got some depth on that football team. They had, a lot of people thought that they might have had the best draft. And so I don't really know. I don't know enough. I can't give you an honest opinion of that, but I read that a number of places. But I think they've got some pretty good depth on that football team. And John Harbaugh's done a nice job with them, and I think he'll continue. Cleveland is an enigma to me. To tell you the truth, I don't have much of a feel for them. So I kind of agree with the way you took a look at them, Coop. And so I would pretty much be very much in line with what you said, although I think Baltimore will be just a little bit better than what you maybe thought.
And I think I'm just going to mark that down as a bucket list. Coach Westhoff just called me Coop. All right, Lori Fitzpatrick, what do you say about the AFC North?
So I definitely have the Bengals first. That's without a doubt. Then, secondly, I'm going to go with the Ravens because I think you can't underestimate Lamar Jackson. I think if there is a one position that can take over the game, obviously the quarterback is the position to do that. So, and because he got hurt last year, I think obviously that was the reason why they finished last. Then I have the Steelers in third, and that's because I think they're kind of being underestimated right now with Mitch Trubisky because he's going to be running the RPO. Matt Nagy, Matt Nagy, right?
Yeah.
The Bears coach, him and Trubisky did not get along. They did not run anything that helped Trubisky, and everybody obviously knows that, with Chicago, everything is just a cluster F, right? So I think he'll be really successful running the RPO with Najee Harris. Obviously, the Steelers' defense is still awesome. With Watt still there, you have Minkah Fitzpatrick representing the Fitz clan over here. And the Browns are still the Browns because I think this year they're just going to have to throw this year away, and next year they'll be able to make a run of any sort. So I have the Bengals, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns.
All right, Deb, what say you on the AFC North?
And honestly, Lori, I agree with you. I've got the Bengals 12-5. Love some Burrow. I was bummed when he got hurt his first season. I wanted to see what he could do. Was bummed they didn't go further last year. I've got the Ravens at 11-6. Steelers 8-9. We'll see what Mitchell Trubisky does. If not, I'm cool with Mason Rudolph. Cool with Kenny Pickett. I can't wait to see what he can do on the field as well. And then we've got the Browns at 6-11. I think that whole Deshaun Watson thing is just a bit of a shit show. So,
to put it mildly, yes.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, what say you? Let's go to one of your favorite divisions, right? Give me your season outlook for the AFC North.
I'm waiting for my graphic.
Oh, well, you don't remember? Is that what I have to scroll?
I can go to my phone, but I want to look at the camera.
I put so many graphics in here, I have to scroll through.
So
you got to start while I do it.
Oh, no problem. So I got the bone hole taking it again. The only thing I'm worried about with them is their Super Bowl hangover because every year two teams in the Super Bowl, one comes out great and then the other one just has a hangover from the year before. They did bolster their offensive line, which was great. They give Burrow that protection. Pittsburgh, it's a homer pick, but you know what, dude? The standard is the standard. That is Mike Tomlin. He is one of the best coaches ever in the NFL. I will stand by that statement. People in Pittsburgh, they've been calling for his job for the past 5-6 years. And I'm like, who are you going to get better? Who are you going to fire him for, really, realistically? He's never had a losing season. I think they're going to put Trubisky in the right situations. The only thing I'm worried about them is that they may run Najee Harris into the ground. I am worried about that. Their defense is a little suspect, but again, with Tomlin and the defensive coaching staff, you got Flores up there. They're going to right the ship. They're not going to run it into the ground. And then you have the Ravens. The problem with Lamar Jackson's contract is the Browns. See, they ticked off every owner in the league by giving them a guaranteed contract. Nobody ever does that. See, that's why Lamar does not have a contract right now. Nobody gives them $230 million guaranteed. Nobody. And to go with the Browns, they're going to play as the same color as their uniform. They are just a dumpster fire. They can't do anything right. Never. They never won a championship ever, and they won't for a long, long time.
All right, the same color as a uniform. Love that one. All right, Justin, what say you, my friend? What's your prediction for the North?
Well, I mean, I guess I can't say anything that anybody else has already said, especially Nick. I mean, the dumpster fire thing was just amazing. Obviously, the Bengals take it. Steelers, I think, are going to be surprised. I think a lot of people are really underestimating what the Steelers have as far as firepower, especially in that receiving core. Then you get to the Browns. I might be one of the only people in this clan, or in this minority club here. I like Jacoby Brissett, and I think that he can do exactly what Baker Mayfield did in this offense, and they can run the ball and make it to the point where they need Deshaun Watson to take over. So I think that they can still finish out 9-8. And then I'm actually with you, Coop. I don't like the Ravens this year. I think that they have kind of gone into a different direction. I mean, they're still I'm going to run the ball, but who do they have to run the ball right now? I mean, J.K. Dobbins is down. Gus Edwards is missing 4 weeks. You know, they've got but look what happened last year. When they ran Lamar too much, he got injured. You know, I mean, Tyler Huntley is an amazing backup, but that's what he is. He's a backup right now. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you got Andrews and you got Bateman, but you need somebody who's going to be able to handle that workload. One thing, you know, they've got good running backs, but they always seems to find like injured running. They always seem to find themselves injured, and they always seem to be looking in the over 30 box at Toys R Us and finding those running backs that, you know, are just kind of over the hill.
Well, that's who's
like
left.
Devontae Freeman last year.
And I think at the end of the day, too, and we'll move on from the North, but just the biggest thing is the, you know, Hollywood Brown being gone. Like, that was a lot of production being taken away from that Ravens offense, and they didn't do nothing to improve it. And like we just talked about, you know, I thought maybe you'd go after a big-name running back in the offseason when you had such a plethora of injuries last year, you know, like, hey, let's get somebody, you know, that we can rely on. It just hasn't happened. So I just don't see it for Baltimore this year. Let's get on to the South. I mean, you know, this division's a little wonky. I guess that's the way I could put it. But the addition of Matt Ryan, I think, has put the Colts kind of back into the fold a little bit. I think maybe in Wentz could have, you know, they was okay with Wentz. Matt Ryan's the type of guy that won't make mistakes. I think that's what they need, especially with Jonathan Taylor. We talked about their defense on the last show. 3 years in a row, I know it's fantasy, but 3 years in a row, they've been top 10 fantasy defense. So they're doing something right defensively. All they have to do is just put a little bit together on offense, and I think they'll be okay. You know, the Titans are like, you know, Coach talked about the enigma earlier of the Browns. I feel like the Titans are an enigma. I just don't know what to really make of them, because if Derrick Henry comes back doing his thing, Ryan Tannehill, quite frankly, is an accurate quarterback at times. You know, yes, A.J. Brown is gone, but Traylon Burks looks really good too. They got Bobby Trees there too. I like them to be decent, but they're just an enigma to me. So we'll see what that defense looks like. Obviously, the Texans are the Texans, but they're starting to come up, I think, a little bit. I like Davis Mills. I think they got a little bit going with Lovie Smith, so I like them to go a little bit better. And the same with the Jags, just to be a little bit better than last year. All right, Lori, this is your people, right? The AFC South, the Jags, right? No one brought you before. Talk about the AFC South. Tell me what you think.
Well, my first comment is just a question. Like, how could you put the Texans over the Jags, man? Come on.
It was just for you. Just for you.
Dameon Pierce is pretty much their, you know, the shining light of that team. Like, yeah, Davis Mills is going to be like, all right, he didn't do a bad job last year, but all right. So let me get to my prediction before I just ramble on about that. So yeah, I'm going to take the Colts, and surprise number 2 is the Jet. Nah, you know what?
Go ahead.
Oh man, I have faith that the Jaguars can actually come in second. I think I do think maybe it'll take another year for that to happen though. So I am going to pick the Titans number 2, Jaguars number 3, and then the Texans 4th place. And I think Matt Ryan is going to be the best quarterback that they've had since Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning. Finally, they're going to have a good quarterback in there. But for the Titans, man, it's hard to pick them second. Like, without AJ Brown, like, how do you just put an entire offense on a rookie's shoulders? It's like Robert Woods, who's, is he even healthy yet? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't have faith in Ryan Tannehill. We're all just waiting for when Malik Willis takes that job. And then the offense is just going to be relying on Derrick Henry, who you can never count out. So it's going to be really tough for any defense in the AFC South to be able to keep up with them. On the defensive side of the ball, they're still just, okay. But I think the Jaguars are really going to contend with them for that second place spot, because I think what they did in free agency was awesome in terms of the defensive line. They may actually come back as Saxonville, like from 2017, which is going to be amazing. So, I do think they still have some things to work on the offensive side of the ball, maybe bring in another playmaker in that X spot. I don't think Christian Kirk can do it, can be all that they hope to be. So yeah, I'm gonna go Colts. It hurts me to even say Titans second, then Jaguars, then Texans.
Deb, are you going to back up the girl power of this Jag stuff
And
here? What's going on?
honestly, I was just thinking that, Lori. I agree with you here. I think the Jags could take second place here. I mean, Lawrence Peterson. I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm a huge Doug Peterson fan.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, all right, but I agree with you too. It might take another year. So I'm going Titans in the second place. Obviously, Colts first, taking them 10-7. Matt Ryan, I lived in Atlanta for a couple of years, followed him, had some friends on the team, so was at a lot of the Falcons games. So it's going to be super weird to see him in a Colts uniform. I have to say that.
From
But,
red to blue, it'll be interesting.
It's going to be super. Also, Jonathan Taylor from my hometown. We're super proud of him, and he's such a killer player.
Isn't Matt Ryan a South Jersey boy too?
Is
He is.
No, he's in Philly.
I didn't even know
Philly,
that.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, he's a Philly boy. So
Okay, there we go. There's 2 of them. So definitely have to take the Colts first. Going Titans 8-9, then Jags 6-11, and Texans 5-12. I don't even know who's the Texans quarterback. Is it Kyle Allen? Is that what's going on?
Davis Webb.
Davis Mills. And
Mills.
I will say, Deb, I'm going to call you out because you said you're going to back her up, and then you said the Jags 6-11. So I'm just going to say that.
no, well, I did pick them third though, but
I'm just having some fun. No big deal. Coach Westhoff, what say you, my friend? Give me your
Very-
AFC South prediction.
I'm very similar to what I've just heard. To tell you the truth, I think this is the division that the other divisions want to play. I don't think this is a very strong division. It's just not. I think it's the worst in football. I like the Colts because of Ryan. I'm impressed with him, and I still like their offensive line. That offensive line is still pretty good. Hopefully they stay healthy, then they're very good. So I think the Colts are definitely right where they are. The Texans have slid, or excuse me, Tennessee, the Titans have slid. I like them more as a 9-8 team. I don't think they're much better than that. They've slid. And I would move Jacksonville ahead of Houston. I might move my country club here, Lexington, ahead of Houston, to tell you the truth, where I live. I'm just not a Houston fan. I'm really not. And I think Jacksonville has improved. I like Doug Peterson. I agree. I think he's a good coach. I think he did a nice job at Philadelphia. He actually played for me when I was coaching offense at Miami, though I know him very well. And I'm impressed with him. I think they've done some nice things in the offseason. Plus, he kept on his staff Bernie Parmalee, who's my favorite player I ever coached in my 32 years, so I'm happy with that. But I think the Colts are the premier team in this division. I think with Ryan, it gives them a chance. I remember I was at a New Orleans Saints game last year when the Saints clearly had Atlanta beat, and Ryan came in at the last second and just performed miraculously because he can throw the football. So I like him, and I give them. I think that's a definite improvement. Everybody else is okay with Jacksonville on the rise. I believe they're on the rise.
Yeah, I just want to two quick thoughts real quick. By the way, Coach, I remember being sitting in my living room and watching Dan Marino get hurt. It was like a Monday night game, and here comes in Doug Peterson. And I'll tell you right now, if that guy didn't look like a deer in headlights, on Monday Night Football, he was like,
But Doug Peterson was the quarterback when we beat Philadelphia, and Don Shula broke
"That's
George
correct.
Halas's record.
That's 100% correct. That's what I was going to follow up with. It. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So it's funny little tidbits to throw in there. All right, Nick, let's go to Justin first. What say you on the AFC South, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, it's what these guys have already said. I mean, we got the Colts winning it. The Titans, I actually like the Titans, how they set it up, getting rid of Brown and supplementing it with Woods and Burks. I don't think Burks is quite there yet, but Woods right now looks like he's going to be the number one wide receiver in that offense, which will most likely help Tannehill. But we got to remember, Tannehill has done absolutely everything with nothing. I think this man gets no credit whatsoever for taking this team to a number one seed last year off of losing Derrick Henry and having A.J. Brown for a limited amount of time. And then we got, obviously Houston and Jaguars, the real question. I'll pick Houston this year. I like their quarterback a little bit more. Davis Mills, I know it's crazy, number one overall pick, but Davis Mills showed just a little bit more to me last year than Trevor Lawrence did. I think Trevor Lawrence got to show that he was worth that number one overall pick this year. I know that Urban Meyer was a real thing, but we got to see it.
Yeah, and just on the Texans real quick, the only reason I have them above 2 is I really do like Lovie Smith. He's going to bring his defensive style to it. You got Damian Pierce there. Go ahead, Nick. My bad. You got Damian Pierce, Brandon Cooks, David Mills. Kind of like that mix. Go ahead, Nick. My bad.
Yeah, that's no problem. The Colts, I think they're going to be 12-5, obviously, because of Matt Ryan. I like Frank Reich. They're just going to be the class of that division. I have listed there the Tennessee at 11-6. I think I'm going to bump them down to 10-7. And the reason, Lori, the reason why the Titans are going to finish second is because they got the Jags and the Texans in the division. They're not even worth talking about.
Oh, that was a jab, Lori. You saw that? He threw a little jab.
It wasn't a jab. It's just that
It's like you mentioned my name for no reason and then
Right.
say that they.
Yeah, like why would he mention your name, right? It's not a jab or
Why
anything.
even? Yeah.
All right,
because she posed the question, how can I put the Titans second? I answered it.
You are no longer Lori's favorite on TSS.
Apparently,
Well, look, I'm also mad at you. I'm also mad at you because I am the most hated man on the show, and a segment ago, you were trying to steal it. So you better stay in your lane there, Justin.
You finally got a funny, Nick. Good job. All right, let's go on to the AFC. Now, Coach said we probably just went in the worst division. Let's go in probably the best division, the AFC West. I mean, bar none, this is probably the best division in football. I got a little bit of a different opinion of other people. I actually have the Chiefs, believe it or not, with a losing record. And that's going back to that Baltimore thing. I know it's like kind of a crazy. I saw Mahomes try to do too much last year, and that was with Tyreek Hill. So I'm just looking at this like there's no Tyreek Hill. You have basically Travis Kelce and some, you got Juju, you got these other guys. I'm just not impressed with the Chiefs, quite frankly. And I don't think their defense is good enough to carry them. So, especially when you talk about these other teams, look what the Chargers did in the offseason and improve that defense. I mean, there are so many playmakers on that team. I think they go away as the number one fantasy defense because all the plays are going to make defensively. Broncos, Russell Wilson, let's ride. Already had a good defense, good receivers, good running backs. They were set up for a QB to take over, so I do like them as well. And the Raiders, they were good last year. They just added another piece, so how can you not count them as well? They've all improved. The Chiefs have not, and that's why I got them the lowest. All right, Deb, we're going to go to you first. You're Miss LA, so you give me the AFC West prediction.
I mean, best league in the NFL for sure. I was at the Chargers training camp. They look amazing. Justin Herbert on point. Super excited to be there. I feel like the Chargers are going to go 12-5. That's my prediction there. I have the Raiders next. I think Derek Carr is underrated. I think the additions they've made will work this year. I have them 11-6. Broncos, Russell Wilson. Let's see what he can do. 10-7. And then I have KC at 9-8.
All right, so we're not that far off. I don't feel like I'm that crazy. Then all right, Coach Westhoff, what's
We might be though. We're just two crazy people together.
That's true, indeed. Coach Westhoff, what say you, sir?
Really, really good division here. This is fun to watch these guys every week, every single one of them. I'm going to agree with the Chargers. I like 12-5 actually for the Chargers. I think I love their quarterback, and I think they've improved their football team. The others, to tell you the truth, I'm having a hard time just picking anybody, and I just refuse to eliminate Kansas City. Though I'm going to take the rest of them at 10-7. I'm just going to put them all there, and I'm not sure how it's going to come out. Because I watched the Raiders the other night in a preseason game, and I liked what I saw. They impressed me. So, I know Denver gets off to a great start. They take Russell, goes back up to Seattle. I think he's going to go up there and pound Seattle. And that's not easy to do. But I just think they're going to get off to a big start. But I really see the other three as all 10-7, and it's a fist fight. It's a fight. And so I think this division, it wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. If any one of them won it, it would not surprise me, including Kansas City, who I believe is on the way down. But don't sell those guys short. Now, Andy Reid and the quarterback, or Mahomes, they're the real deal. They're pretty good. So it'll be interesting. Really interesting.
Agreed, 100%. Lori, what say you?
Well, I'm still gonna pick Kansas City to win this. And listen, just because they lost Tyreek, I don't think that it's gonna be. I mean, yeah, obviously it's gonna be different, but I think Patrick Mahomes is just gonna have more options, and it just gives Andy Reid, just like Deb. Like I'm from the South Jersey area, so I know a lot about Andy Reid and how innovative he could be with an offense. The only thing that kind of scares me is, he's not great with the whole running back position, and they don't really have a running back right now. Like, is Clyde going to be able to step up and take that? This is contract year for him, right? So I think that'll be interesting. But I still think that, you can't downplay how good Travis Kelce is and Mahomes. They still make amazing throws, and I still like their defensive line. You have a really amazing players that play on their defensive line. Picking up Trent McDuffie, I think that was a good piece too, to add to their secondary. They did lose. I'm forgetting his name. The safety that's no longer there. The Honey Badger.
Matthew.
Yeah. Matthew, whatever.
The guy went down to the Saints.
Yeah.
Tyrann
So,
Mathieu.
That's a little unfortunate, but I think that his body language sometimes when some of the players would make mistakes, I think that kind of hurt the defense a little bit too. So, I still think they kind of take it, but if I have to agree with anybody, it's Coach, where if you could just put them all 10-7, and just see who wins this last game.
That's a good point. It's interesting.
It'll be tough, but if I have to map it out, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, and it's tough, but
for the Dolphins' sake, I hope they do all duke it out and go all 10-7. I'm good with that. Nick, what say you, my friend? Who you got in the AFC West?
Okay, first, full disclosure, Coach, I could just sit and listen to you talk about football for the entire hour. This has been great. I really enjoy myself.
All right, wait a second, Nick. Let's go.
Oh, you can and I can't? Okay. So I got the Chiefs at 12-5. I'm not counting out Patrick Mahomes. I'm just not doing it. They say, we lost Tyreek Hill. We lost Tyreek Hill. One guy doesn't make a football team. I think he actually might be a better quarterback, because now he's going to be forced to look around and throw the ball. I mean, Juju's no slouch. He had a bad couple seasons after AB left. now because he was forced to be the number one, the true number one receiver there is Travis Kelce, and that's just the way it's going to be. A lot of people on ESPN were predicting that Denver was going to come in last and be 8-9. No, I think Denver is going to be right there. I think you got the Raiders there too at 11-6. The only thing that scares me about the Raiders is number one, Josh McDaniels hasn't been a head coach in a long time. Number two, he's the backfield is in flux. So unless they get a solid starter, because Jacobs isn't the guy, and they didn't give him an extension in his 5th year. So let's see what they do with that. And then winning record in 4th place, it isn't bad. They're not going to make playoffs. But I got the Chargers, and the reason why I got the Chargers in 4th at 10-7, number one, is because last year so many times Stokely had to go and make the big decisions, and he was too conservative. I think he needs to break out of that.
All right, Justin, what say you, my friend? What do you say on the who wins the West?
Oh, it's going to be the Chargers. Continuity is everything, and this is a team that everybody knows each other. Every single level of the field for them that's important has been brought back, and then what they do, they go out, they get Khalil Mack. They start to fortify this defense that was their one weak spot last year. The run defense was atrocious for this team. So they go out there, they get some run stoppers, and they get some guys that can pass rush. I love this team. I think that Justin Herbert's going to be the MVP. We're going to get to that later. But Denver Broncos, like them too. Like Coop said, great defense. They were set up just for needing a quarterback. I think that them and the Raiders are going to go 11-6. And I got the Chiefs at 9-8. I did not feel good about it, but my main problem is not Mahomes. It's because this defense lost a lot. Like, we want to talk about just Tyrann Mathieu. They lost Chardavius Ward, who was their best corner. And they also, they're not getting younger on that defensive line. So I just look at this, I kind of go, they were never a really good defense to begin with. They were a very spotty defense that kind of came together at the very end and played well. So now you're losing actual pieces of that team, and I think that it's going to be one of those things where it's kind of just going to implode.
All right. Well, that's the AFC. Let's go through the NFC.
Coop, I got a quick question for you,
Yes,
please.
sir. Go right ahead,
When's
sir.
the last time? Can anybody tell me the last time a division had, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know the answer to this, though, had 4 teams that all with winning records and maybe as high as 10 wins?
You know what? That's definitely something to look up. I do not know. I definitely would like to look that up because that is definitely something that's a possibility this year. There's no.
And it's tough to do. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
I can't remember no division I was ever in.
It's
I
super
can't, not that I remember.
think to your
Because
point. To your
it's
point,
pretty tough to do. That's impressive. I thought that Lori jumping on Kansas City was pretty interesting because that might be the team that's right up there at the very top. So just a question. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. And to your point, the reason why it's so hard is because all these good teams play each other too. So
Yes.
eventually they got to lose at some point. So to your point, I mean, it's really, really a tough thing. They're all going to have to split if that's the way it's going to have to go, at least. All right, let's go on to the NFC. We got the NFC East to start with, and here's how I see it. You guys know, if you've been watching us, I'm high in Jalen Hurts. Love the A.J. Brown addition. Again, defensively, they improve. I like them at 12-5. I think the offensive line issues with the Cowboys are starting to rear its ugly head once again. So I don't really see a great season for the Cowboys, but I see them being okay. Commanders just kind of with Wentz, and the Giants improving a bit, but still kind of are where they are. Put it that. All right, Deb, how about you? We'll go to you on the NFC East. What do you
All
say?
right, this is my division.
Okay, look at that. Then I picked her right.
I mean, Eagles, I agree with you, 12-5. My story with that is I was actually at the draft. I was in the media room. We were interviewing the draft picks when A.J. Brown, when A.J. Brown became an Eagle. And the consensus in the media room was NFC East champions, Philadelphia Eagles. So I've been on that kind of high horse since that happened. I think we have a great team. I think we have one of the best wide receivers rooms in the league. 12-5 Eagles. I have the Cowboys coming in next at 10-7. The Commanders 6-11, maybe 7-10. Give him a little leeway there. I'm not sure about how Wentz is really going to do. I mean, know some people that know him. Doesn't have the best reputation, but he seems to be fitting in at the Commanders. So we'll see how he does. I do not think he will hit the field at the length, though, when they play the Eagles. I'm calling that right now. I think he'll get booed, and I don't think he can do it. And finally, with the Giants at 5-12.
All right, that's a good one. Coach Westhoff, what say you on the NFC East?
This one, as much as I almost hate to answer this question, because I'm going to flip flop. As much as I kind of think Deb's pretty sharp on it, and I'm an Eagle fan also. I think Dallas is going to get ahead of them. I think they're going to get ahead. I think they're going to quit making so many penalties. The coach is going to fight for his job, or he's going to lose it. And I think they're going to straighten it out a little bit because they are a talented football team. They've got a good defense, and their defensive coach last year used to be with us with the Jets. Now he's pretty good. So I think they're going to straighten that out. So I'm going to pick Dallas a little bit ahead of the Eagles, although I think it's very, very competitive. Washington, I would agree with 9-8. I think that's pretty close to that. I like the Giants. I think I've seen them improve. I don't think they're just as good as they need to be. And I think 6-11 or 7, maybe 7 wins with 10 is probably pretty good there. But I'm going to actually go ahead on Dallas a little bit. I've never been a Dallas fan. Every time I went against them, I'd rather beat them than go to heaven. So I wasn't a big fan going
That's
against
awesome.
Dallas, to tell you the truth.
I want to get that tattooed.
But it's just the way I felt. But I just think they've got to straighten that penalty situation out. They've got to. They're the most penalized team in the league last year. And it looks like so far that's what they've done in the preseason. I believe they'll solve that problem. And so it's going to be a real dogfight. And I could see it go either way. I'm going to give Dallas a slight edge.
Laura, I saw you agreeing when Coach brought that up. So are you in the same alignment with Coach in this?
Well, I think we all have to get on our calendars and circle December 24th at 4:25. The Eagles play Dallas, and it's how many games are there now? There's 17, right? So it's week 15, and that's going to be who's going to win the division. Whoever wins that game.
Could be
it's
right.
in Dallas though, which is tough because the Eagles. Everybody knows the link gets crazy and it's hard to play there. So I think it's going to be interesting. I do like the Eagles though, and I don't know. I can't say it's a little biased because that offensive line, man. They got a center to take over next year. Cam Jurgens looks awesome. Even though obviously Kelsey is still there. But I don't know. I love the pieces that they put together. Like Deb was saying, with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, this is going to be his year. Without a doubt, he's going to go from, 0 to 10, even though he's already at like a 7. He's going to take the next level. I think, especially with AJ Brown kind of taking some of the defensive attention away. Miles Sanders, I think I can't say he's underrated, but he kind of is. Like, I think he's a lot better than what people are kind of saying. Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, they're both back because Brandon Graham last year he tore his biceps or something like that, right? Last year, both of them. So he was out for the entire season. I like the addition of Reddick from the Carolina Panthers, that outside linebacker. They gave him some speed. I really like Nakobe Dean. He obviously has a lot to prove after dropping down the 3rd or 4th round. And go to back to the defensive line and that defensive tackle position. Jordan Davis, man, he's a monster. He's already getting triple teamed in preseason. I think he's going to do really well. I think the Eagles are going to, finish first if they do win that game on Christmas Eve. I love Micah Parsons though, so that's going to be tough. But definitely Eagles, Cowboys. I don't know. I think Coach Dable will do a little bit better for the Giants. I still think they're kind of, what's going on with that wide receiver room, but I don't know. I kind of like Saquon Barkley, and I'm gonna agree with Deb here. Where who's gonna get booed more in Philly, Ben Simmons or Carson Wentz? So I don't think Carson Wentz gonna do anything in Washington. I just don't like him as a quarterback. He did what he needed to do in 2017, and I think he should be a backup in this league. So. That's where I'm at.
It's funny because all the Philly fans I talk to, they're always hating on Wentz. It seems no present company included. Justin, what's
Is there a
that?
reason not
It's
to?
just his
though?
attitude, though. Honestly, like they all loved him.
Yeah, we did.
He did some Houdini stuff, behind that offensive line in 2017. What he went like 11 and 2 or 4 or something.
He was definitely making a case for MVP. I remember the seat. My wife's a Philly fan as well. So if there's if we're not watching the Dolphins, obviously the Eagles are on. So I was watching that season. He was doing some magic that year until he got hurt. So to agree with you, and I think you guys are just hurt that he's not with you anymore. I mean, honestly, Justin, what say you, sir? You're on mute, so we wouldn't know what it is you're saying.
So I got 2 points to make before I make my really quick argument here. 2002 coach. It was the only year that 2 divisions made it out one team having
I was Googling. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I was Googling as you were talking.
That was the AFC East and the AFC West. And the only reason was there was 3 teams with 8-8 records. And then also I had somebody on my podcast on Thursday that said that he actually went around Indianapolis and just did a random survey of 100 Colts fans and found that none of them really actually blamed Carson Wentz for their downfall. So that's kind of crazy thinking, like the Eagles hate Wentz, but the Colts fans were like, he was all right. Anyways, streamlining that into my point here, I'm going to break Deb and Flanders' hearts here when I say this. The Eagles are finishing 3rd, the Commanders are finishing 1st, and the Cowboys are finishing 2nd.
Whoa.
And here's my argument. The Commanders, I think, are one of the best, are the most well-coached team in this division. And I think that they really are a quarterback away from really stepping their game up. They have a great offensive line, or a great defensive line, an okay offensive line. But with a good quarterback, they have multiple weapons on the offense. They have 2 good running backs. They have a tight end. I think they can really mix it up. This division is very volatile. Jalen Hurts, I'm sorry. Jalen Hurts, is he the answer? Is he not the answer? If you ask Cooper, he's the god. If you ask me, he's number 15. The Cowboys, this offensive line has slowly degraded for the past 3 years, and now we're seeing, old Ezekiel Elliott. We don't know what we have with Tony Pollard and Dak. You got to be an MVP this year, or else your team's going to be out of it. And then with the Giants, I like what they're doing with Dable, but at the end of the day, this is a team that really needs to get a new quarterback and needs to kind of just work slowly into this new system that they have. But yeah, that's my explanation for the NFC East. Sorry, Deb. Sorry, Nick.
It's cool. No, McLaurin. I mean, Terry McLaurin is amazing. I think
Dotson.
And he's been good without a good quarterback, so that's why I'm really high on him this year.
I mean, McKissick, McLaurin. I mean,
they got weapons. If the defense comes to where it was supposed to a couple of years ago, who knows? You might be right.
I mean, Chase Young, if he comes back.
It's not a bad argument,
I don't
Jeff.
see it, but we'll see.
Good job. Yeah, I don't see it either, but whatever. You can make a case for anything, right? All right, Nick, by the way, I just want to give this little plug for Coach, since you were, want to hear him talk and all this. You know what you need to do? You need to buy his book, figure it out, and then you can read any time what Coach has to say.
Please.
All right, give me your prediction, sir.
I'll do one better. I'll pay him just to sit and talk to me for an hour. Anyway, listen.
Please get the book. You'll enjoy it. Please.
Okay, thank you. I got the Birds, of course, finishing 12-5. I got the Commanders at 9-8. I don't think their defense is going to perform. They underperformed last year. I don't like their running game at all. They already came out. They said they're going to do a running back by committee. Gibson plays hurt against advice, even when they tell him to sit. And the Giants are going to finish up at 7-10. I'm not liking that offense, and that defense is on the downslide.
All right. Yes. If anyone knows about underperforming, it's Nick. All right. Let's talk about the NFC North. Oh, my bad. I'm underperforming. I can't get the graphic off. Let's talk about the NFC North. I'll bring up my prediction really quickly. I like the Packers this year. I know Devontae Adams is gone. but it's Aaron freaking Rodgers that we've forgotten. But this is what I think, honestly. I do think that this Packers offense is going to morph itself into a more running style team with AJ and Aaron Jones. And quite frankly, why wouldn't they? It get cold in Green Bay. It gets bring nasty running game with AJ Dillon. If that's what they morph into, watch out, because they already have a great defense. And again, you have Aaron Rodgers, who can throw me open at this point. Vikings are good. Obviously, we talked about the Rams coach coming over and reinventing this offense, which is all great and well, and I'm all for it for fantasy. But NFL-wise, defensively, they got nada, and I'm just not buying into Minnesota being that big NFC team this year to watch out for. Lions are improved. I think they're going to get over 500, and I'm just lost on Chicago, quite frankly. I'm not really sure about them. Coach, we're going to go to you first on the NFC North. Give me your prediction on the NFC North. What you think?
Pretty similar. I agree with Green Bay. With anytime you have Aaron Rodgers, you're going to be right there. I'm going to take them at 12-5, though. I'm going to take one less win than you've given them. But I still think they're a pretty good football team. I'm going to take the Lions next. I think they're on the move, and I'm not as enamored with Minnesota as maybe you are. I'm going to take the Lions at 10-7. I watched. I've been studying them. I watched their Hard Knocks show. I know the coaches. I know several guys. They were with us at New Orleans, and they've improved. Their team speed is better. Their defense is playing a little bit better. So I'm not just knocked out, but I think they're going to make a little bit of a move. Minnesota, I think they're 9-8. I'm not in Chicago. I'm not just impressed. I think you had the right one. I believe I would stay exactly what you had. So I'm going to move Detroit up just a little bit, just a little tiny bit. But I think it's still dominated by Green Bay. It's still much by Green Bay. But there's something I think they're missing too. So this conference doesn't scare me. Although Rodgers can scare you. He can scare you. But other than that, nah.
Well, you know what? You know what else can scare you, Coach? Is Dan Carpenter. We still got his statue outside Dolphin Stadium. Big muscle head out there. I mean, that guy, he's a freak, none to say the less. All right.
He's a good man. I liked him. I coached with him, and I enjoyed him. He's a good coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, when he came, how long did he coach for the Dolphins? Not very long, and they still have a statue out in the front in the parking lot of it. I mean, it's great. Lori, what say you? Give me your prediction on this.
So I'm going to go Packers first. Obviously, you guys, mentioned it. Aaron Rodgers, he's still there. But I really like the weapons that he has around him too, with Christian Watson and Dobbs stepping up. He didn't really like Marquez Valdez-Scantling anyway. So it's not like that was like a huge drop off. Obviously, Devontae Adams is the biggest difference. But I think Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. And like you mentioned, Coop, with that backfield, man, I think they're going to be even, better if they focus on them. But I am going to go a different way here. And I think the Vikings are going to be better than what everybody is assuming or suggesting. And that's because of Kevin O'Connell. Does people forget that what that offense was based around before he got there? Fullbacks? Come on, man. Listen, I love fullbacks. Fullbacks are, the ultimate football position, but nowadays it's about skill set, right? So why weren't they using Justin Jefferson? Why aren't they actually using Kirk Cousins, who has always finished top 5 in the league for the last how many years, and he's being underrated? Adam Thielen, maybe he's on his way out, but still you have Justin Jefferson. Maybe they can get something out of Jalen Reagor after getting him from the Eagles. KJ Osborne's still there. Then Jalen Naylor is one of the fastest wide receivers in the draft this year, and they got him with the speed. Then you can't forget about Dalvin Cook, who was centered around the offense this year, and now he's just going to be that cherry on top that they're going to have to worry about because, I just think that offense is going to be a lot better with Kevin O'Connell, and then the defense is still good. So I think they're going to come in second. Then I kind of agree with you guys with the Lions, maybe being third, and then the Bears fourth. The Bears just aren't really looking too good, man. That offensive line, it kind of scares me with Justin Fields. Like, I kind of feel bad for him at this point.
Yeah, looking a little shaky to say the least. Deb,
Deb agrees, man.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with both Coach and with Lori with pretty much everything what they just said. Lori, I actually agree with you. The Vikings I think are going to be second. I think it's Cousins' year. I think I think he's finally going to have a year. I don't know why I think that, but I do. So yeah, obviously Packers first. Aaron Rodgers can't be beat. He's a goat. I mean, let's be honest. 12-5 there. Vikings, I have 10-7. Lions 6-11, and then Bears and poor Justin Fields, who I love coming out of Ohio State, but I just get the hell out of there. I don't know what else to say for the poor kid. But I have them going 4-13.
All right. Well, when it comes to Minnesota, gentlemen, the ladies certainly like that. Nick, what say you?
Okay, well, I'm going to buck the trend here. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with the Vikings winning the division at 11-6. I think they're going to take it. I think the loss of Davante Adams is going to be too much to overcome. Karen Rodgers up there knew that he wasn't going he was going to lose Adams if he took his big paycheck, and he took it anyway. So, good luck to him. Then I got the Lions at third at 6-11, and then the Bears, again, they're just another dumpster fire, and they're going to be 4-13. They have no idea what they're doing up there as far as how to run an organization. They haven't had a winner in there since '85.
All righty. Nick, with all of his football expertise, bringing it in. Justin, what say you on the NFC North? And you're on mute, just to let you know.
Still on mute.
I'm going to stick with Nick on this one. Yeah, Nick, I know. So I'm going to stick with Nick on this one. Minnesota, I actually have them going with full nitrous off of Lori's argument. I think that Kevin O'Connell is going to do wonders for this offense. I think that he's already picking that he's going to be flying that ball down the field all the time. And he's got all the weapons for it. I mean, he's got Irv Smith. He's got KJ Osborne, obviously Jefferson, obviously Thielen. He's going to get Dalvin Cook involved in space. Love this team. They're already thinking about shipping Madison off because he's too much of a running back for them. At this point, I think it's a lock-in. They're going to be one of the teams that nobody saw really coming at this point for a big playoff run. Packers second. You can't really count Aaron Rodgers out, but like Nick said, he was selfish. He took his money and he left none for his teammate Davante Adams. Then you got the Lions. I love what the Lions are doing. Penei Sewell re-upping that line. They finally got their defensive leader, Aiden Hutchinson. You need trenches. You need defense. You need offense. Those two are critical. And then the Bears, everybody else has already said it. I'm sorry, Justin Fields. I hope that you have a career past the Bears at this point.
Hey, I just want to say, too, I totally agree with all of you guys in regards to the offense of the Vikings. I do think that's going to do wonders. Unfortunately, though, like I said, their defense still is Swiss cheese right now, and this is not a league you want to have a bad defense in. All right, let's go on to the NFC South. Here is what my predictions are. I actually have the Saints winning. I think this Tom Brady thing might be a little bit more than what our people – listen, I'm married. I know how it is when wifey's not happy, and I'm at work. I'm just discombobulated. I'm not really working very well. She doesn't want this guy out there playing football right now. So everything that this guy does, he's got to always be thinking in his mind, oh, I gotta talk to wife. I gotta talk. Listen, I think this is a bigger deal. I think with the offensive line issues, I don't think the Bucs are going to be as good as they have been. And let's not forget, the Saints own the Bucs and Tom Brady on top of that. So I think the Saints are going to overtake the Bucs in this division. I do think the Panthers will improve. I'm not as big as Baker Mayfield as you guys are. I do think that, he will keep them in some decent games. And Atlanta right now is going to be fighting with the Bears for the number one pick at this point. Okay, Lori, let's go to you on this one. What do you say about the NFC South? And now you're on mute.
Damn. I pulled Justin, man. Disappointed in myself. No, I'm just kidding. So
I knew you were going to say that, by the way.
So
go back to mute.
yeah. So yeah, I think man, this is a tough year for Tom Brady with that offensive line, man. That's going to be tough. But I do think he pulls it out just because he already knows what he's doing pre-snap. Just as long as he has a couple seconds, I think they kind of change the offense around getting the ball out a little bit quicker, maybe so he doesn't have to go through as many reads. But that is going to be tough, man. I can never count him out though. So I'm gonna go Bucks first, and this is on a whim because I'm not really sure how this is gonna play out. So I'm gonna go Panthers because I am a fan of Baker, to be honest. I think, maybe Christian McCaffrey, if he can, you know, reverse the spell of the unbreakable, maybe, they will be able to do something because, I think DJ Moore is a little underrated. I think, Robbie Anderson's awesome. But to be honest, I'm not really sure about this division. The only difference between the AFC South and the NFC South is the Bucks have Tom Brady. Otherwise, this is like really up in the air. I can't determine who's gonna be the worst or the best. So yeah, I'm gonna go Bucks, Panthers, Saints, Falcons. Maybe I could be completely wrong though. So.
All right, Coach, I'm going to go to you next because I know this is your division right here, right? Who do you got? Do you agree with the Saints?
It was the last one I coached in. Yeah, I have my Saints shirt on, actually. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints. I'm going to go with them. A lot depends on Winston, how he's going to come around. Don't forget, though, last year, before he got hurt, he was actually playing pretty good football. He was playing pretty well. He got hurt, and they just collapsed because, that just wasn't there for them. So I'm going to take the Saints. I like Dennis Allen. I think their defense is a really good defense. You could talk about them, one of the elite defenses in the NFL. I think they're still there. So I kind of like that. I think they'll be pretty good. Tampa, they're good. I've got Tampa at 10-7. I've got them right there. They're still pretty doggone good. Although the Saints have kind of owned Tampa a little bit because that defense is so fast underneath. That takes away a lot of what Tom Brady likes to do. When you can force Tom Brady to have to throw deep all the time, you can beat him. I've seen that going against him, and I love him. I think he's the greatest. But nonetheless, Carolina, I think Laurie brought up an interesting point. I think McCaffrey's a real key there. If he can stay healthy, which I do not believe he can, I think that's just the way he plays, and that he gets banged up. So I don't think you can count on that. I like Atlanta a little tiny bit better. I have them 5-12, a little bit better, not a whole lot, but I think that's I think the Saints can get ahead of Tampa and stay there, and I think that I'm gonna pick the Saints.
I like it. All right, Deb, what say you in that division?
All right, Lori. First of all, we have to hang out because we think so similarly.
Let's do it, man.
We're from South Jersey. Okay, going Bucks. I mean, I'm never going to count Tom Brady out, let's be honest. I mean, that's just the way it is. I have them 10-7. Then going the Saints, 9-8. Panthers, I'm a huge Panthers fan. I'm beyond excited to see McCaffrey out there on the field. I think he's the best running back in the league if he can stay healthy. I disagree with Coach here. I think he can this season. I might just be high hopes. But I'm excited to see him back on the field. Finally, the Falcons. I'm actually a Mariota fan, but I'm not sure you can pull it off, even with Kyle Pitts. So, yeah, that's my. So yeah, I'm going Packers 12-5, Vikings 10-7. I'm sorry, wait, Buccaneers 10. I'm reading the wrong one. Buccaneers 10-7, Saints 9-8, Panthers 7-10, Falcons 4-13.
Got you. Nick, what say you on the NFC South? And I'll just show Justin so we can move this along a little bit.
Sure. Okay, so I got the Bucks at 12-5, dude. I'm never gonna count Tom Brady out. I don't really believe in the whole current off-field distraction right now. I think it's something I don't know. I don't want to get into his personal life, but I don't think it's it. So 12-5 for the Bucks. I picked the Saints at 11-6, and I'm not really too comfortable with it because coming into the season, if you follow football, you follow Dennis Allen, and no disrespect to coach, but Dennis Allen's previous coaching record was 8-28. I don't know how he's going to be 8-28 and then go 11-6, but he's better than the Panthers and he's better than the Falcons. Panthers, I'm not sold on number 6. Never have, never will be. And of course, the Falcons right now, they are rebuilding. We'll just call it that way. So I got the Panthers at 9-8 and the Falcons at 7-10.
Gotcha. Justin on his got Bucks 11-6, Saints 9-8, Panthers 8-9, and Falcons 5-2. All right, we're going to move on to the NFC West. And now another good division. Talked about the AFC being good. This NFC is also really good as well. No disrespect to Justin, but I got these Niners at 8-9. They're more of a gritty playoff team, but they got to get in it, quite frankly. I just don't see them this year. The Rams at 12-5. You know who I really like, though, is Kyler Murray and this Cardinals team. I like them to be at a very high wildcard seed in the NFC. I like them at 11-6. And obviously, we talked about the Seahawks, the Bears, and we talk about the bad teams in the league. The Seahawks are definitely going to be one of them this year. Deb, we'll go to you first on the NFC West, since you are Miss LA, as we like to say.
And as you say that, I think it's going to be Rams, Chargers, Super Bowl this year. That's my prediction.
Nice.
Home team for both, huh?
We'll see. I mean, I would be super excited if that actually happened. But no, I'm going Rams. I mean, Super Bowl champions. I think they have it this year as well. I mean, Aaron Donald can't beat them. 11-6. Got the 49ers next, which is a little interesting. I'm debating that one. I have them at 10-7. I think Trey Lance will be okay. We'll see. I mean, I'm a Garoppolo fan too. Seahawks 6-11 and Cardinals 6-11.
All right, Coach, what do you say on the NFC West?
Very similar. I'm a little bit similar to. I'm going to be a little bit less on the Rams. I know I think they figured the system out. They like the system. You know, they're a team that's going to build their football team around 7 really good football players, maybe 8. That's what they do, and everybody else fills in the gaps. Their special teams coach is my best friend. I talk to those guys a lot. They start off slow because they don't do anything in the preseason. They do 0. So they haven't really played it. They might as well hardly have been in camp yet. So I picked them at 11-6, but they'll win it. I kind of like the 49ers next. I think they run the football. They've given the Rams the toughest time. They've been, I think, their toughest opponent over the last several years. So, and I think they're very close to the Cardinals, though. So I think they're both, you know, somebody's going to be 10-7 and somebody's going to be, 11-6. I'm going to go with the 49ers a little bit in that edge. And Seattle is really struggling. They're really struggling. I think you've got, the 4 wins, I think is really pretty accurate up there. But it's interesting. I think it's a battle. The top 3 teams are going to fight it out a little bit. I think the Cardinals are they scare me once in a while. They're fun to watch. So I think that's going to be an interesting contest. And I do like the 49ers because I like the way they run the football. I think that impresses me.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong. And they got a great defense for sure. Lori, what say you on the West?
I'm gonna agree with Deb here on the Rams. Just like Aaron Donald, obviously is Aaron Donald, so he's gonna be really hard to stop. I don't think there's anything going on with Matthew Stafford and this arm thing. I think, it's just slow news days, to be honest, because I think that offense is still gonna be firing out of a cannon. He's got that huge arm, and the offense is just on the same page. Then I'm going to go 49ers. I love that Deebo Samuel's got this whole contract thing figured out. I think Brandon Ayuk, is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Number 11, right? I think he's going to come out like fireworks or whatever you want to call it. I just think I've liked everything that I've seen from him in preseason and in just the practices that I've seen on video. He's like a high flyer, man. I don't know. I think he's going to have a breakout season. The whole Trey Lance and Garoppolo thing, it's kind of tough because when you obviously look at the 49ers offense and Shanahan, it's just like it's all about timing, right? So whoever can throw those balls on time, whatever receiver is going to get to their spot, obviously when they win the releases, that's who's going to be playing. And whoever plays better, if it's Trey Lance, then it's going to be Trey Lance. If they decide to go back to Jimmy, which I don't think they will, then it'll be him. But I think that Trey Lance gives them a better opportunity for those explosive plays because he has the bigger arm. So I think he's more like versatile in terms of how the defense is going to stop them. So it's going to be like run and gun type of deal. Like they're gonna jam the ball down the throats. They're gonna do some jet sweeps, and they're gonna spread the field wide. They're gonna make those defenders step up a little bit, those safeties, because it takes more than one guy to take down Debo. And once they step up, man, Trey Lance is gonna fire that ball deep. So I think they're gonna be way more explosive this year. I think they come in second. Then the Cardinals. It's just tough, man. After what happened to them in that playoffs last year, they just got demolished. Like I feel like it just took all the air out of them. I just don't see how, honestly, they recover from that. So, yeah, I'm going to say Cardinals third, and then obviously we're on the same page about the Seahawks. So.
Yeah, I think everyone's on the same page with the Seahawks. Justin, what say you? Give me your prediction for the West.
This is your Super Bowl champion right here.
Oh, my God.
This is your Super Bowl champion right here. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you can make it NFC Championship game twice with Jimmy Garoppolo as your quarterback, why can't you make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl with Trey Lance as your quarterback? Just a little question for all you guys.
Can I answer it?
I'll leave you guys to answer that one. But if you guys listen, the 49ers at the end of the day, they improved their defense, they improved their secondary, which is the one weak spot. Their defensive line was young and is just getting better. I mean, Nick Bosa is an absolute monster. Come on now. Fred Warner is one of the best, if not the best, middle linebacker in the game.
I really like that Drake Jackson pick too. That the rookie man.
Oh, he's a monster on the other side. Are you kidding me? Out of USC, that man has a motor. Thank you, Lori. I love that pick too. Thank you for including that one. I'm going to say this. The Rams, I think they still have a chance because Cooper Kupp's on the field. Cooper Kupp, there's not a man alive that can guard Cooper Kupp. There shouldn't be can't guard Mike. It's can't guard Cooper. This man is just he's untouchable, and you have to bracket him. You have to double him every single time. The Cardinals, on the other hand, they never seem to address the right side of the field. They always go for, let's get another receiver. Let's get another this. Get some defense. Stop somebody. These guys, they never clog up the holes on the defense. They always think just another little toy will fix everything. That's why I think the Cardinals are going to be, okay. All right. Thanks, Coop. And then the Seahawks, 3-14. I think they'll be good once they get their future quarterback. But as of right now, Drew Lock, Geno Smith, don't like it.
That was like being on the awards show, and I was hitting the red light for you to wrap it up. There's Nick's picks right here. The Rams. He's got Rams first, Cardinals second, 49ers third, and the Seahawks last. Like I said, we're all in agreement with that.
Cooper,
We're moving on, Nick, because we have a long night to go still. No, we don't. Just kidding. We're going to wrap things up because we are way over an hour, as we said we were going to do. So let's just go into what we think. Again, just real quick for the entire playoffs. Here's my entire scenario. I like the Packers and the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl, and I like the Bills to win it overall. As you can see, I got Miami in there as the wild card. I got the Raiders as a wild card, and I got the Broncos as a wild card. Got Colts winning their division, the Bengals winning their division, Chargers, and Bills winning as well. So there's the wrap-up of my playoff. Like I said, I like the Eagles going far. I just still I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be the MVP this year again, because quite frankly, if he does well with that team, and he throws them into the playoffs with pretty much no weapons, I pretty much think that he's going to just take over the MVP race. All right, we'll go to Deb. You first. Give me your overall playoff prediction, and guys, who do you think is going to win it all?
I think obviously the Eagles will go far. I think the Bills are going to go far, but like I said before, I'm going Rams, Chargers for Super Bowl, and I think Chargers have it.
Ooh, so the LA Chargers win it. What a great Super Bowl that'll be.
Number one for them.
Number one for LA for sure. Coach Westphal.
First time for everything.
Coach Westhoff, what say you for the playoffs? Who's your overall winner and
I thought you did a nice job with the playoffs. I liked a lot of it. I'm going to go with Buffalo over the Rams. I'm going to take Buffalo over the Rams. I think they're both going to be there right at the end, and I'm going to go with Buffalo.
I think we're going to see a lot of those picks tonight for sure. Lori, what say you on the overall playoff picture?
Same as Coach, man. I'm going Bills and Rams. I don't know. I think Josh Allen, man, there's nothing that's going to stop him. I think he and the Bills take that this year.
Indeed, I nothing wrong with that. Justin, what say you? Well, let me pull up. Well, I'll pull up your graphic since I took my time with it.
You don't need it. You don't need it. It's this right here.
You already know. You have the Niners winning it all.
We're gonna have a good old.
Go ahead. You're good.
We're gonna have a good old-fashioned classic, a throwback to I believe the '80s. Bills 49ers, and once again the 49ers are gonna come out on top.
Important to note too, you got Minnesota in the NFC Championship game. I think that's
you got the Commanders winning the NFC East.
I know. I can't even believe that. That like makes this whole thing null and void.
How many shots were you doing when you were doing your predictions, Justin?
It's enough that he made the Niners the Super Bowl champions.
Hey, I'm gonna have all you guys on for our Super Bowl prediction show when this happens.
So Nick, apparently I messed up your graphic and didn't put your winner in your crystal ball. My bad on that. Who is your Super Bowl winner? It gives you a chance to say it.
Oh, I'm going with the consensus. I'm going with the Bills over the Rams. I think it's this year. For the Bills, I think it's winner or bust. I think if they don't win it this year, they're going to blow it up.
Well, listen, this has been one heck of a prediction show. I wanted to thank our guests because we went way over than what I thought, so my apologies on that. So thank you for bearing with us on that. I even had a game to play, but I was like, nah, we ain't playing that game. It's taking too dang long. So let's go on to everybody. Let everyone know where they can follow, subscribe. Lori, we'll go to you first. Where can everyone follow, subscribe, and follow your great stuff? And let us know where we can find that new article you're about to publish.
Yeah, so I just finished something on the rookie cornerbacks, and I mostly work in all 22 film. I used to play football, so I learned a lot about how to watch film, and so that's what I do most of the time when I'm writing, and I write for USA Today. So you guys can follow me on Twitter at Laurie Fitzpatrick. My name is right down here. I'm not good at the whole green screen weather.
The other way.
Oh, this way?
Yeah.
Forget it. Anyway, on Twitter at Laurie Fitzpatrick. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. We appreciate you. A friend of the show, to say the least. Deb, a new friend to the show.
Yes.
Welcome, and tell us where we can follow, subscribe, and get all your great stuff at.
Absolutely. I'm at Sport Report Deb on IG and Twitter. Have a lot of, I specialize in interviewing, so I have a lot of great interviews coming up with a bunch of different players from the season and a lot of alumni as well. So I'm excited for everyone to watch that. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. Happy to do whatever. I can talk football all day. So.
We have South Jersey show about to happen, man.
Yeah, right?
I mean, Nick in there too.
We got to talk.
Right, look at that. And look, and if you didn't know, 2-time Emmy Award winner.
Yes.
Bam!
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Coach Westhoff, let us know where we can find you, subscribe to you. I know the book has been out, just released. Let us know all the great new things that you got going on.
Yeah, I'm involved in both Facebook and Twitter, although I'm no expert on it. I have someone that helps me, which I need. But the book is out. I'm very proud of it. You can get it on Amazon or at Mascot Publishing, either one. The book's called Figure It Out. I think it's a really interesting story. It's a story about a part of the game that rose to a particular pinnacle. It's not there any longer, and it'll never go back. It's totally changed. And I think it's something that I capitalized very, very well. And I think when you read it, you'll enjoy it. I'm extremely proud of the way we did it. We interviewed, you're not only going to hear me tell the story, but you're listening to O.J. McDuffie or Zach Thomas or Sean Payton. So it was a fun book to write. I'm very proud of it, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I've already enjoyed it. My dad's enjoyed it, and my mom's next. So I do appreciate you and appreciate
Thank you.
We
Thank
all
you.
we all appreciate. We're all big Dolphins fans from back in the day, so you know it's a great honor to have you in here. Great honor to have you, Lori and Deb, as well. We appreciate you all. We're going back to our regularly scheduled programs. A lot of fantasy stuff coming up. Wednesday, we're going to have a Champs and Chumps with a couple of guests as well. And Friday, we're going to get you ready for the season. So make sure you get ready. We appreciate you guys, and we are out.
We're on a mission, guys.
Right. That's because you have Mike.
We're on a mission, guys. We're on a mission, guys.
Put on your life vest, let's stop breaker. Put on your life vest, let's stop breaker. Put on your life vest, let's stop breaker. Put on your life vest, let's stop breaker.
We're on a mission, guys.
Yeah, that's what it is.